but it is some breaking news from this morning, and it must be addressed. Now, I understand there has been some odd recent pushback on Russell Westbrook criticism. People have reminded us that Russell Westbrook is a great father, a great husband, a great tipper. And you know what? I can get credit for all of those things. In fact, I think I'm all those things. But I would be a disastrous point guard for a team trying to win an NBA championship. And it is beyond baffling to me that the Clippers are going to step on this same rake that they saw the Houston Rockets step on, that they saw the Los Angeles Lakers step on. I'll leave the Wizards out of it because the Wizards were not actually trying to win a championship. But if you are trying to win a championship, you cannot have this version of Russell Westbrook on your team. Listen, I did for What's Right with Nick Wright, the podcast I do, last year, the 50 greatest players of the last 50 years. I had Russ 35th. I had him ahead of Clyde Drexler, ahead of Steve Nash, ahead of Gary Payton. He is an all-time legendary player. That can be true, and this can also be true. In 2023, if you are trying to win games, he cannot help you. He has not evolved as a player. His biggest weaknesses have become more glaring. And the idea that the Clippers, who in a wide-open Western Conference actually have the best chance, I would argue, they have ever had since Kawhi and Paul George came together to get out of the West and go on a real run, potentially to a championship, that this team would opt in to adding Russell Westbrook, it's beyond comprehension. And again, I know that sounds harsh, and I know there are people that are diehard Russ fans that feel like he has gotten, his entire career has gotten disrespected by the media. I agree with many that the previous iterations of Russ were underrated. The fact of the matter is, when he was at his peak, there is real value in his relentless effort, in what he gave you on all phases of offense, even if it was inefficient, because he ate up so many possessions, because he pushed the pace, because he put constant pressure on the defense. That can be true, that he once upon a time was a great player, and once upon a time he wasn't, but he could have been a part of a championship team. But that ship has sailed. That player no longer exists. And the Clippers opting into this they have made many mistakes with the Clippers in letting Kawhi and Paul George run everything. This is the latest it would appear, as Paul George seemed to be the loudest and strongest advocate for this move. I don't understand why they did.